I just sometimes am in desperate need of validation. You know, I have a YouTube channel, this YouTube channel, and sometimes compulsively, especially when I'm trying to study or when I'm just trying to not be on my phone, I just compulsively go onto my social media and look at, you know, have people like my post, have people watch my YouTube videos, have people done this, have people done that, what are other people's opinions, to just validate myself, because, you know, I don't have a lot of self-confidence. It has grown, that's for sure, but I still, you know, find it weird, or am just blaming myself if I don't get as many likes as this random guy that I met in primary school. I think I found his Instagram, and sometimes he just gets a lot of likes for the most random posts, and I think to myself, why do you have more likes than me? Than a person who's actually trying to grow their social media audience, community, whatever. So I find that sometimes very unfair, and I think to myself, oh my god, how embarrassing am I to put this out there to only get maybe two likes, or even no like at all. And then I ask myself, why do I need likes? Like, what do I need likes for? It is just kind of hard for me, because, you know, the only thing I was ever really praised for were academic results or academic knowledge, so things that are very, very measurable. And sometimes, you know, people in my life tell me, yeah, you know what, you deserve this thing because you actually are making a huge effort to be here, you're doing your thing, you're studying medicine, you're doing this, you're doing that. And you know, that's a nice thing to say, and it's nice that they offer me clothes, a concert ticket, you know, holidays, but I think to myself, that is just proof that I really need to do something, that I really need to have people to have a high opinion of me to, you know, be worthy in general. And I actually asked ChatGPT to, you know, give me a challenge, a weekly challenge, where it's like, okay, limit your phone consumption or your social media consumption, and one of the steps was basically becoming aware of why you do it or why I do it, and that is just external validation. For me, sometimes it is procrastination, that's for sure, a little bit of anxiety, but mostly I go on there for validation. And if I don't get that validation, I'm annoyed. Or if I do get validation, then I think, oh my god, I don't get enough validation. And after finishing scrolling, I always feel guilty, because I think to myself, oh, now I've wasted some time of my life that I won't get back, whatever. And it would be so cool to not be, you know, scrolling. I just think it's such a weird concept, social media. It is such a weird concept. My self-worth growing up was absolutely non-existent. You know, I was a very shy kid. I didn't talk much. I didn't have a high opinion of myself at all, because I wasn't socialized, so I thought that I was weird. Now I'm pretty fine with the fact of being weird, but I still want validation for the fact that I am kind of weird and that I'm being myself, and I just want to know that you like me. And I don't really like that about myself, but I think it is just normal to some extent. So a specific moment where I really realized that I needed to work on my self-worth was when I got anorexia nervosa and when I recovered from it, because the stereotype is always that, you know, anorexic people or people suffering from anorexia, they have very bad or very low self-esteem, and that is true. It really is true, because you rely on external things, on, you know, fame, on numbers, on your body, on your weight to make up for the lack of contentment or self-worth. Because if people only look, or if you only focus on how you're looking from the outside, you have a clear goal. You know, your goal is improve everything that's outside of, you know, my psyche. Just don't focus on my psyche, but focus on everything else. And I think that now I kind of have that tendency with numbers, you know, the subscribe account. Sometimes people unsubscribe from my channel, like one person less. And I think to myself, oh my god, why did they unsubscribe? Have I done a weird video? What type of video should I do to please everybody? And I don't really want to think like that, because at the end of the day, these videos are for me and not for you. No, okay, that's kind of rude, because I am posting them, and so I do kind of want validation for them, I think, or just for people to relate to them, or relate to a little bit of what I'm saying, but I really want my goal to just be doing this for me, my video diary. I have a physical diary, and I also have a video diary. So, and I think that oftentimes I used to think of self-worth as like, oh, I'm disciplined. You know, on social media there's this whole thing about discipline, and also the Nike Run Club app, the app that brought me deeper and deeper into anorexia, just literally told me, because I was listening to these guided runs, these coaches told me, yeah, actually running, it's a big community, we're all trying to be better, and hey, you gotta run in today. And it was meant, you know, they were being nice about it, but not with people who have anorexia. That made me very, very furious. So I thought of self-worth as something, oh, I'm really, you know, taking care of what I eat, so I don't eat anything, which of course is a very weird and very sick perception of self-worth, and self-worth just based on like the way that I was sitting in a chair. Because if you're sometimes I would put one cheek over another and would think about, oh, what does that feel like, whatever, and that's what I based my self-worth around, which is not what you should do. And now self-worth, what is self-worth to me now? Just the fact I kind of want to be important. I just want to be a person that people like and that people respect, and that just is helping people. Because, you know, I work at a psychiatric hospital right now, and I really want to have an impact on people. And my life, it should have an impact, because otherwise I'm just afraid of becoming depressed again. Because a year ago I was diagnosed with severe depression, so I suppose that there is a tendency for me to become depressed and to suffer from depression. So I kind of want to avoid that, and avoid that mindset of thinking, oh my god, my life is worthless, whatever, by trying to do the exact opposite. So having proof basically that I'm worthy. And actually ChatGPT has given me this challenge where they've asked me, okay, hi, why did I say hi? Okay, so ChatGPT basically said, okay, list a couple of things about yourself that make you happy, that make you a great person, just some qualities in you. And I'm just going to do that here so that everybody can see it who wants to see it. So I think that I'm a funny person, but I also kind of do that to please to other people. But sometimes I just do it for myself. Like literally, I'm riding my bike and I think of something funny and I just laugh. I laugh out loud, and sometimes I scream, ah! Or something like that, because I think of something weird, like my first kiss, for instance. It was super awkward, and so then I just try and scream that memory away, and then people look at me weirdly, and then I laugh about myself, because, you know, that's kind of funny. You know, so I do it for myself. I'm a funny person. I'm just a very empathetic person, I think, because I love listening to people. I love hearing their stories, and I love trying to not be judgmental. Yes, and what else? What makes me a good person? Oh, my friendships. I think with some people I feel better than with others, because, you know, some people that they have the same kind of energy, and they also give me attention, I give them attention, and it just, I just feel very, very mature that way. Okay, let's just keep it at 3 things, because I'm self-conscious and I don't want to think of anything else, and I don't want it to seem like I'm bragging. That's always my excuse, right? I always think to myself, or I always say to my therapist, but people mustn't think that I'm a narcissist. And she was like, everybody has narcissistic components to their personality, because otherwise we wouldn't survive, you know. But for some people it really becomes a problem when it's a narcissistic personality disorder, you know, such as eating. Eating isn't a problem, but if you have an eating disorder, then it becomes a problem. Anxiety is not a problem, but if you have an anxiety disorder, that is a problem, and that is one thing that you need to be aware of. And so I kind of just try to improve my self-worth and self-esteem by just resisting the urge to seek out external validation. I think that it is human, but at the end of the day, you know, it doesn't really fulfill me, and I just feel even more guilty after scrolling on social media to get that validation. So in the end, I don't have validation at all, and so I think that this will hopefully help me just, you know, become more confident and become just more aware of my self-worth and less dependent on, you know, other people. If there's one thing that I hate, it's being dependent on something. I've never drunk alcohol, I've never taken drugs, I've never smoked, I've never even, okay, one time I took a caffeine pill or two, but then I abruptly stopped because I was too scared of something else controlling me, and I'm very afraid of that right now. I think that social media, it was really toxic for me when I was in a bad headspace. So for instance, when I was struggling with my eating disorder, I used it as an echo chamber, and it made me feel bad, and because of that, I thought to myself, okay, I need to improve to be disciplined as an anorexic, because sometimes they're the same thing, you know. If you've ever had an eating disorder, you kind of understand, or you kind of maybe are too triggered by this hype of discipline. Just ignore how you're feeling. You're tired. Go to the gym anyway. And for people who don't have that inner peace with themselves, I guess, it just can escalate very quickly, and it can result in you doing crazy workouts while you're very sick and can't even get up sometimes, and have a sore throat and can't even breathe. You still do workouts, and I think, you know, this is just, sometimes social media is just not the vibe, like, really. And I don't think that I have anything else to say except that just, you know, if you love social media, that's great. If you want and love external validation, okay. But for me, I just really want to make an effort not to engage in that anymore, because, you know, I'm just afraid of other things controlling me, basically. So I think that that's all I needed to say, all I wanted to say, and all you wanted to hear, hopefully. Also, if you've made it until here, that's amazing. So yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.